real quick before the actual video starts, quick loadout rundown. I'm using the Nightshade with just the top row of perks and the Callus selected shader. I'm using the MadKingIII tool with obviously the stock perks because that's what they come with, and the Callus shader. The sudden death trial shotgun with the bottom barrel, top perks, and the Nebula Rose because it looks sick, like peng, standard just gear. And then I'm using the Voidwalker subclass with the attunement of Hunger, Blink, and Healing Rift. Enjoy the rest of the video, or don't, your choice. Fingers crossed that my actual fucking mic isn't cutting out for the 7th time now of trying to fucking record this. First time, did a perfect full recording. Second time, did it again. But halfway through it just starts to cut out. Hopefully I've listened to the entire thing and it's not cutting out, otherwise you won't be hearing this. However, that being said, right now, I'm going to try and attempt, without cutting out, to talk about two very specific topics which I think Bungie needs to address and change in order for their game to be a more fun Crucible experience. They're not very big changes either, Bungie. They're rather small, actually. However, they will just go a long way to improving the overall quality of the game and the experience 99.9% of the player base will have with it. Because they are mutually beneficial to everyone. There's not really anyone getting screwed over by small changes like this. The first of these small changes is to update the fucking stack system you currently have in PvP, especially quick play, to a less degree comp, because I understand that's supposed to be like really competitive. But can you make it so I don't match 4 stacks in quick play? Because I imagine like the majority of the actual community, you go into quick play when you just want to find a fucking game. Most people probably queue it solo because there's not many 4 stacks like out there. But as a solo queue player, it is very, very annoying to match one of these elusive 4 stacks consistently. Because for me personally, it's probably 1 in 3 games is me matching a 4 stack. And I just back out 9 times out of 10 in those fucking 1 in 3 games. Because it's not fun. I'm not getting a good experience from it. Their team's not getting a good experience from it because most people will just back out and they spend half the game cycling players. So can you please make it so if one person is solo queuing and happens to match against a 4 stack, you give the solo queue player at least a 3 stack in order for them to be able to actually make up for the just the communication barrier you have as a solo queue with your fire team. I think this is going to go a really fucking long way because it helps everyone who solo queues out, as they're no longer getting just absolutely railed in by 4 stacks. It also helps out the less blessed players because it means that they also don't have to deal with the 4 stack, because I imagine for them it's probably even more annoying than it is for me. So you're helping your casuals, which is the fucking player base you seem to be striving for. And it also helps out the 4 stacks. Like, as of someone who has played a few 4 stack games, it is not fun. It really is not fun to match up against just a team of just people rotating in and out. Because half the time spent dead in the air doing fucking nothing. It's boring. Oh my, please, just fix it. Right. The second thing, which is slightly less tilting for me than it is to match 4 stacks, because I find 4 stacks so annoying, is the current environment of the game. Like, the actual way people play. It's rather passive, bit team shotty, and very slow. Most games I've played, I think the vast majority of games I've played have come down to time, just easily, by like an actual landslide. Even this game where I fucking stomp, it comes down to time, it doesn't come down to kills. And this is Clash. This is literally the game where all you have to do is kill people. There is no objective. So there is realistically no reason this game should be going to time. The main reason for this, the entire like slow gameplay experience, is very simple, and it's just how slow the aggressive time to kill weapons feel. They actually don't feel that slow. That's more of like a poor choice of words, but I think you can understand what I mean by they're just not as reliable for the average player to use than something like a MadKingIII multi-tool. Just because it's a lot harder to get into someone's face when everyone else is running away than it is to just run away yourself and shoot someone from across the map. So extending out the range slightly on most guns, which just have like a short range anyway and a high time to kill, that being guns like SMGs, which happen to be my favourite type, so a bit of bias there. Hand cannons, which are just universally loved by pretty much fucking everyone. And even probably shotguns and swords could do with a range buff as well, just to like counteract the number of people who are using fusion rifles because they're crazy range capabilities. However, I kind of will concede that shotguns right now are in a very good place and probably don't need tweaking too drastically. Not only that, but I think a universal time to kill increase by like 5%, just to drop it by like one burst or one shot or whatever you want to call it on most, not all, most firearm archetypes would just be such a good quality of life change for just everyone involved. Especially if it's something like one shot less if you're going for all headshots. So instead of taking like 4 shots to kill with a hand cannon, it takes 3 shots to kill with a hand cannon, as long as you hit 3 headshots. Maybe make it so it's 2 headshots and a body shot for the Sturm archetype. Just small things like that would really go a long way at increasing like the time to kill and increasing the overall just enjoyment factor of the game as a whole. Like, really not that big of changes as someone who isn't a game developer. But anyway, do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you think you're being a bit too like needy there? I don't really know what you're gonna think to what I've just said. That being said, I hope you fucking tell me what you think, and then Bungie can decide to agree with the smartest of us with the best solution. Right, I'll fucking see you the next time I embarrass myself on YouTube.
1 minute. You have this. Seconds stand between you and victory. Well-fought victory. Victory! I like you, Guardian. You don't try to be fierce. You just are.